This is going to be a quick video on how to slug the barrel of your gun. Whenever you buy one of these old used Mosin Nagants and you're going to reload, you're going to have to slug it because these guns have gone through quite a bit of use, wear and tear. They probably, who knows how many times they've been shot. Generally speaking, they have a barrel diameter of about .310 to .312. So to know exactly how worn or unworn out your barrel is, you need to slug it. And let me show you the tools to do that. This is something you should do really for any surplus weapon, but definitely for a Mosin Nagant. So starting out, you need to get some fish weights. This is an assorted sinkers fish weight kit that has them in different sizes. Really the only ones you're going to need are these ones that are about, they're almost exactly they're exactly .314 inches in diameter, so it's almost a perfect diameter to put in your barrel here. You can't see that too well, but in any event, I think this whole thing costs like $7 or $8. You could probably get just these weights alone for maybe a few bucks, but you got to have lead weights to do it, and that's just a few bucks. The next thing you need to get is this caliper set. I got this from Harbor Freight Tools on sale for about maybe $20. You can probably get them for less than that, but this gives you a readout. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that in inches or in millimeters. We'll be doing this in inches, and it allows you to zero set it and then move it out so that you can see what the diameter of your bullet is. The reason you need to measure, you need to have this, is you need to have something that's very accurate down to this level here, the thousandths of a millimeter or thousandths of an inch, so that you can be able to get your measurements right when you slug the barrel and then start doing your reloading afterwards. So this is probably going to be the most expensive tool you'll have. You should already have one. If you don't, get one, because you'll be needing this for reloading as well. Now, if you've done some of the things like here where you put on, let me go ahead and just take this off here. If you've done this trick where I show you how to put on a little slip of insulation to get your post out a little higher, you'll have some spare copper wire, 12 gauge copper wire, and you'll need this so you can put the Fisher weight on it when you put some lubrication on it, which is the next thing you need here. This is just, white lithium grease. You can use any kind of oil or grease, really. You just need to have something you can grease up the fish weight you plan to put down in there for measurement purposes. Come on, focus. There we go. And anyway, you might notice that if you look at these two here, they're slightly different in weight, or you can see there's a slight different shape. One of these I mashed down with a mallet. You kind of need to do that so you can give it a little more size and dimension when you before you start hammering it down in here. Anyway, let's go ahead and put those there. And the last thing you're going to need, besides this mallet, which again is a $6 or $7 investment, you're always going to need this though for a lot of different uses. The only other thing you're going to need is a 1/4 inch diameter dowel rod, like 3 or 4 feet in length, cut into 1 foot sections is how I did it. This is just poplar wood. It doesn't really matter what kind of wood, but you need to break it up because if you use the whole length as is, trying to hammer it down way up in the air, it's going to be kind of hard to do without shattering it. But having it broken into pieces like this will be a lot easier to work with. So there you have it. And the last thing, just to mention real quick, you need to make sure you have a way you can brace your gun. I have this workbench, which is perfect because I can just put the gun in here and put a towel around it and wedge it in here real good and tight. And then I took the bolt out, and I'm probably going to put some wadding here so that it'll catch the lead weight after I tamp it down through here. Because you're going to go from the barrel end on down. But it's not going to mess up your crown either, as long as you're not hitting it with something metal or really hard. So that's what it's going to look like starting out. So here we go. Now, first thing we're going to do is take this weight here, take this mallet, tap it down a little. Just do it one more time. Okay, that should be enough. You can see it's flattened out a little bit, so it'll fill out the barrel a little better as I'm hammering it down the barrel. You take it, put the little hole in there, so we have it secure there. You take some of this grease and apply it on. Oh, it's not. Anyway, put some grease on there, you get the picture. Alright. Then we carefully put that here at the top. Alright, and then we take the mallet, tap it down. I'm going to use the plastic end here and just tap it down a little bit, just so I can get it going. There, you can see it's at the top here. Now we're going to start tapping it down. We'll start with the first dowel rod. Getting a little easier as it goes further down. It's probably going to pop right out. There we go. And then the next one should be almost halfway down there now. Oh, slipping through. A little rag there. Okay, keep going. I think it's almost through. Now at this point, I'll probably just push it through. Yep. Alright, let's get it out. As you can see here, it's got a pretty crisp, sharp edge to it here. You can see a little bit of the land of the groove here right at this line there. So let's go ahead and measure this out and see what we have. Alright, so we're going to move this out. I bet you it's going to be about 312. Let's see. Looks like it's 0.3. No, it says 0.308, which I think is optimistic. Let's try this again here. Here. Alright, I did this again just to make sure, because the first one I put through there seemed like it was a little misshapen, but I put that other one through, and at the lands, basically before it goes back down from the groove, you can see that the measurement here is about 0.3125. So this barrel still looks like it's still got a lot of life left in it. That means I should be able to use a .311 size bullet, basically a Lee Enfield type bullet, which is what I'd planned to use all along. You got to make sure you measure it from the lands, because if you measure it from inside, it's going to be about .306, 305 sometimes, which isn't really reflective of the actual size of the bullet that you want to keep it at. I could use a 308 with this, and a lot of folks do, but at that size it might be a little less stable, and it may not be as accurate of a bullet when I reload it. So I'm just going to use the .311 and go from there. So that's all she wrote.